Well, I was proud of our guys. They fought hard. We came up on the short end. We were in decent shape at halftime, and we didn't make any first downs in the third quarter and couldn't get off the field. And defense couldn't get a stop, and it got away from us. But playing a team that's like this, that can happen. So they did a good job. They got a good ball club.
Coach, early in the game, you had some momentum. You were down, I think, 14-10, and it was just a matter of the offense just couldn't gel.
Their defense played well, and we just didn't execute against it well enough and make enough things happen, and couldn't sustain enough drives. Their speed on defense is really, we get them out of position once in a while, but they just have so many guys that can run and make up ground. I mean, we threw a screen, and the guy we read ended up tackling the back, so their overall team speed is really a difference maker, I think.
Did that catch you off guard a little bit that they threw that much?
No, I didn't. I don't think so. I think they got in control of the game. I think they worked on their offense, and we weren't stopping a whole lot of things, and they were executing pretty well. And for I know his offense is rather youthful, and of course he's got a senior quarterback, and I think he needed to. If I was Jimbo, I'd want to put my quarterback that's new in as many positions as I could in a game like this, where they had control of it and couldn't do too much damage, and build on it for the future games that he has.
Coach, did the delay have any result in a little bit of a slow start there in the first quarter?
I don't think so. I mean, we've been through that before, and I think our guys know how to deal with it, so I didn't feel like it did. We had plenty of time. Once they let us know we had 70 minutes, so we really had, I don't know, probably more time we needed, I think. So their defense had something to do with that.
Are there any positives your team can take away from tonight?
I think so. I thought our guys fought their tails off. They prepared well. They focused. They fought. They were just a little overmatched, and we'll look at the film and see what our execution things were like. And one of the things we hoped to accomplish was to be a better team when the game was over than we were going into the game. And our guys feel like they are. I asked them in the locker room, kind of grade this film and see where we're at and everything. We won't play this caliber team the rest of the year, so you have to kind of judge. I mean, let's keep in mind they won the national championship 2 years ago. We're in the Final Four last year. We played a good program, as I said, not team, but program. I think guys like playing in this game. I think our guys have been fired up a long time to get the opportunity to come play here and take the challenge. I think guys that we recruit want to have the chance to play in these kind of games, and so I think there's some positives in that regard to playing in a game like this. Plus, we got a nice payday, I guess.
How big was that to be able to get something going there and maybe kind of spark the offense in some ways?
Well, the fumble punt set something up for us, and that was good. I thought Lumi kicked and punted well tonight. That was good to see. A little disappointing James missed an extra point there, but he made a field goal. So I was pleased with the way our special teams played for the most part. Coverage, we had a bad coverage on a kickoff return. We gave up too much space in the middle of the field, but for the most part, we did some good things here. And then, we didn't turn the ball over until there at the very end, and played solid in the special teams. We had one penalty tonight for 5 yards. You talk about the crowd noise. A lot of teams will probably jump more than that in a situation like that. We worked hard on it for 2 weeks, and it showed, and I think we functioned fairly well from that standpoint. So there were some good things in regard to that. Well, you talk a lot to your team about avoid losing, and early in the season you lose more games than you get beat. Now we probably got beat tonight, but penalties, fumbles, turnovers, missed assignments and things like that is how you end up losing to somebody rather than them beating you. And the fact that the penalty situations like it is, and we handled the crowd noise well, and it was pretty efficient for us. There was a lot of good things in that regard.
How do you feel afterwards?
Down, bad, you know, we got to come with it. We made a lot of first game mistakes against a hell of an opponent that we are not allowed to make mistakes against. You know, they capitalized on everything. They're a great team for a reason. So we just got to come in, put the work in, and get better.
The second quarter, you got a few stops on defense and got the momentum going a little bit on offense. Did you feel like maybe you were gonna be able to carry that into the half and maybe make this close and put some pressure on those guys?
Certainly. Once we got those stops on defense and we punched it in a few times in the end zone, you know, that gave us a lot of momentum. We thought second half we come out and use that, and it just didn't go our way second half.
Do you see any maybe positive effects down the line from playing, an opponent of this caliber, ranked in the top 10, something that hasn't happened before?
Oh yeah, definitely. We look at this as a, I'm not gonna say a moral victory because it's not. We take a win, a loss is a loss, but we definitely can go back and we have great film against it. Like I said, quality opponent who has top NFL prospects, so we can use that film and get better. So.
What kind of adjustment did you make defensively after the start? Because they got out to that 14-0 start. Was there something that wasn't going well for you at the beginning that you maybe made a little bit of change and somehow figured something out a little bit there?
Not really. We just stuck with it and kept fighting. Really, that's the biggest thing we did. The first game, first drive. We tried to see what the team was about and adjust, and we tried to put it together coming out. I wouldn't say it caught us off guard, but I definitely didn't think they were going to pass as much as they did because they were dominating. They were on the run game. They were killing us. So.
What can you tell us about Florida State? I mean, they looked real fast from our view of the press conference.
Yeah,
what can you tell us about them?
It was great competition. It was fun. It was a loss is loss, like I said, but it was definitely fun. It was definitely a challenge and task that we appreciate.
Do you look at something like this as maybe building the foundation for the program?
Definitely, because we're trying to go up. We're trying to take our program to the top. So playing quality opponents like that every year, year in, year out, I feel like it definitely help us in different aspects of the program, recruiting-wise, us competing and just overall as a team. So definitely.
And I guess the one final thing I'd have to ask is, what did you think about the atmosphere of the environment here in the stadium?
Oh man, if you love the game of football, it was great. The atmosphere was just definitely something I've never been a part of. My time here or just playing college football, so I loved it. The atmosphere was great.
All set? Can you just tell us about your sack? What did you see? What happened there?
Oh man, I came on a B-gap blitz. My first college sack, so it just opened up for me. And I'm like, I got to make this play. That's all, just natural instinct.
In there for you guys in that quarter and kind of getting it back.
I think we were just getting in a groove of things, finding our rhythm, finding our tempo, and just trying to take advantage of the opportunity that we had. So
you seem to really, the options seem to work really well with you. You found a couple runs there. Did you feel like that was going to be there for you at times in the game?
a little bit, but like Coach was saying, they were extremely fast, they were extremely physical. They were a great team, and they were able to come swarm to the ball and make plays. So,
did their team speed, look different than what you've seen in the past from some of the other teams?
From the teams we played, is
yes.
that what you're talking about? I guess you could say so. They're a top 10 team in the nation. I mean, obviously they got to be, somewhat pretty fast, somewhat pretty physical compared to the Sun Belt Conference. Not taking anything away from us or anything the teams we play, but they were really fast, and like I said, they were really physical. So.
When you watch them on tape and then you play them in the game, how much of a difference is it between the two?
It's sort of a difference. You got to take into consideration the two teams that are playing. If you're watching Florida State and Oregon play, those are two, like Coach said, top 4 teams that played in the playoffs. So, you definitely take into consideration the two teams that are playing and what film you're watching. So.
What was the atmosphere like out there? All those people, all the noise. What was that like for you?
You kind of really just shut it out. You don't really hear it as much. You're focused on what you're doing. You try to do your 111 the best you can, and it was, like I said, it was loud. We were going on a silent cadence, but you couldn't. I didn't really notice when they were doing their chants. You didn't really notice when the band was playing. You just heard. You just didn't really hear anything. It was that loud. So.
Saying that, that you kind of were able to block it out, do you consider that a positive sign, I guess, because you're able to keep, a pretty large stadium, large crowd, blanked out, basically. So do you see that as being a positive, like you can focus at least?
Yeah, I mean, you could say so. It's just one of those things where, You know, you got to focus on doing your 111, doing your job, and you know, if you focus and you do what you're supposed to do, I think, you know, everything else takes care of itself as far as like crowd noise and stuff like that. So.
You had a long run in the first half. Tyler, can you talk us through that play? What you saw in that?
Just, you know, making my read, doing my 111, got a pull read and just took off, and you know, I was expecting to probably get pulled up a little bit sooner, but they swarmed fast. They were fast to the ball. I think 2 guys made a pretty good tackle, and you know, it was good. We had good blocking. It was a good scheme, and tried to take advantage of it. So.